Hello all, this is Erica and I'm here to deliver the mid to end of the month October messages. So let's get it started. What messages do we have for the collective for the mid to end of October? Ooh, and they're all flying out. Pick up the ones that fell. Spirit has tense messages, it seems. The first card we have is Temperance. And in the Thoth Tarot is called Art. It represents Sagittarius energy and it's about balancing opposing forces. When I think of this card, it's almost like chemistry or even like cooking and herb making. So some of you guys can be interested in that, or an herb making or herb spell work, or what's it called? Like these are things that take time to steep and things that take time to what's the word? Could be not fermentation, but it could be things that take time to marinate. That's the word, sorry. Things that take time, marination. This could also be a transition, time, and needing to transmute energy. But when I think of this card, these are combining of two things. And when I think of combining of two things, I'm thinking of polarity, which is a hermetic principle. So it could be like, for example, if you're feeling down, the idea of that you can try to will yourself out of it into a more happy state. So feeling sadness and happiness, so on that scale, so oppositions, right? So that's how I would view temperance in this form. I mean, I just use that as an example. So it's a combining of polarizing forces to make something work. So you can be dealing with someone who is completely opposite of yourself and trying to figure out how to maneuver them. It could be in a work situation. It could also be needing to balance things in your life. It could also be needing things happening in transitions happening, which in the month of October, it's the month of transitions. And like I said previously, the thinning of the veil. So this is speaking of transition, transmuting, and things that have to come together and marinate and grow over time. So that's Art, or Temperance, which represents Sagittarius. Then we have Science, or the Six of Swords. To me, the Six of Swords represents needing to emotionally surpass things, or getting to a point where you've emotionally surpassed a situation and you're mentally like, okay, structuring it and mentally moving away from it as well. So it's like the emotional processes come first and then the mental. Could be, like I said, situations that you've been dealing with, like things that have been mental blockages or things that have been strife for you, but you realize like, okay, I need to move away from these situations. It's putting two and two together. Science, the Six of Swords, and swords energy always deals with the mental. So it's mentally surpassing something. Like it could be even your own procrastination, or like I said, things that have gone against you, because this is preceded by the Five of Swords, which deals with bullying or things that are counterproductive. So when you reach the Six of Swords, this is like, okay, I realize I need to move away from these things that have been counterproductive and holding me back. So this is almost like gaining strength mentally, because emotionally you're like done and over with it. And then the final card for the mid to end of the month is the Fool. And this is like taking the leap of faith. new beginnings, having no fear of consequence. This is how I see the Fool. And in the Thoth, he's an interesting fellow. He has kind of money in the background. So these are like opportunities that can be fruitful for you monetarily, that are kind of coming together for you, because the Fool is not actualized energy, because in the Tree of Life he represents Cathar, which is on the top, so spirit going down and materializing. So this is like the beginnings of something. It could be the beginnings of a project, or the beginnings of a job, a beginnings of a financial venture, a beginning of a romantic situation. It could represent so many things, but this is just the beginning, the initial spark. It's up to you to actualize it and materialize it. So I feel like altogether these were pretty good, positive cards. Let me pull one more card. I will pull an Oracle deck card to kind of finish it off. Spirit, what message do we have for the collective on Instagram? They all want to fall out. I'm not doing it. Just gonna pick one. Transformation. To me, this is similar to how I said with the Temperance card, the Marination, because you know, what does a butterfly do? It grows in its cocoon and it maturates and grows, and then comes in and comes out fearless and flying and beautiful. So think about things that need maturation, and think about things that you need to be a little bit fearless with. Also, this could be messages coming through, because I have a feel like when I see butterflies, I think of messages as well. And it's the number 19, 1, which is new beginnings, and the 9 represents things that came to a finality. So it's like endings and new beginnings. So that's how transformation kind of, I don't know. I guess that's how I see the transformation energy. Even if you break down 1 and 9 in numerology, it comes to a number 1. So it's the beginning again, which also stands for autonomy. It's being back again to being fearless and standing in your own and being authentic. That's what the number 1 would stand for me. I hope you enjoyed these messages. If you would like a reading, feel free to hit the book now button on my profile or DM me. Thank you. Bye-bye.